Donald Trump was treated by German media and German politicians during his election campaign was unbelievable. And I mentioned that before in a Bloomberg interview. It created, for me, it created physical pain to see that, how he was disparaged, like, and his entire family. So, yeah, so I feel very sorry for these people. Just like, saying negative things. And now, while we talk, 150 bureaucrats of the European Union are watching us, our conversation, to enforce this ridiculous Digital Services Act that is nothing else than a censorship on free speech. But free speech, right?
Yes.
It's and you said it, free speech is a precondition of democracy.
Yeah.
If you are not able to form a proper opinion and exchange opinions and ideas, and a democracy should be a competition of the best ideas, right?
Absolutely.
And the compromises.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. Without freedom of speech, people are obviously not able to say what they want to say, and then they cannot make an informed vote. So if people are simply fed propaganda and have no access to what's really going on, then they can't make an informed vote, and then you don't have a real democracy. So that's why I say, free speech is the bedrock of democracy. There must be free speech in order for people to make an informed vote. So that's essential. And you can sort of, it's actually quite easy to tell who the bad guys are. It's like, who wants to shut down freedom of speech? They are the bad guys. It's very clear.
Yes. And do you know what Adolf Hitler did? The first thing, he switched off free speech.
Yes.
So he controlled the media, and without that, he would have never been successful.
Yes, exactly.
Never been successful.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
this is what you do.
Yeah, no, exactly. That was one of the first things he did was to control the media and imposed extreme censorship. And what he was trying to do was shut down any pro-Semitic media, anything pro-Semitic or any defense of the Jewish people was shut down. So we have to, like, very few, for those who want censorship, I think they should be careful what they ask for, because once you institute censorship, it's only a matter of time before that censorship is turned on you, and eventually they will censor you, and that's the danger. Because people love to censor things they don't agree with, but they don't realize that one day that censorship is going to be turned on them. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, you mentioned, of course, Hitler and whatnot. Now, there's a lot of the media wants to portray AfD as far right, as somehow associated with Nazism or something like that. Perhaps you could address that concern, because people, when they hear sort of right wing in Germany, they naturally have a bit of a negative reaction.
Yes, thank you for the question. First of all, I would like to, since I'm a economist, I would like to shed some light on the idea, when we talk about Hitler, on the idea of the National Socialists. Back then, during the Third Reich, the National Socialists, as the word says, they were socialists.
Yeah,
Adolf
very
Hitler
much so. They nationalized industries like crazy.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
He was a communist, and he considered himself as a socialist. So what they did, they state funded then the private companies, and then they asked for taxes, huge taxes, and then also wait a second, I need to ask the word now, verstaatlichen.
Nationalists.
nationalize the entire industry. You said that before, and the biggest success after that terrible era in our history was to label Adolf Hitler as right and conservative. He was exactly the opposite. He wasn't a conservative. He wasn't a libertarian. He was a communist, socialist guy. So full stop, no more comment on that. And we are exactly the opposite. We are a libertarian, conservative party. And look at this during during the discussion of this terrible Hamas attack on Israel. So only the leftish Palestinians, they criticize the policies here. So you have a deeply vested anti-Semitism within the leftish movement. And it was always that case. Why? And Adolf Hitler, he also played with that. He played with the envy of people. Jewish people have been highly educated, very cultivated, and they were successful. There were wealthy people back in Germany then. And then he enforced the envy of the population against these people. And it was a socialist measure taken against them. Look at Stalin. Look at the Soviet Union under Stalin, the very same thing. So he was nothing else than an anti-Semitic socialist. And we are exactly the opposite. We are a libertarian conservative party. We are wrongly framed the entire time. And we would like to free the people of the state. I want to have independently thinking people, self-confident people. I would like to have a state that is minimized to his functions, and letting the people having their freedom of speech, freedom of wealth also, like generating wealth. With these obnoxiously high taxes, the state erodes the backbone of wealth, right? So the people are not able to accumulate wealth that make them independent from the state.
Right.
So I would like to have independently thinking, well-educated people who have the freedom to form their own opinion. I want to have strong leaders in Germany. I don't want to have stupid, weak leaders as we had in the last couple of years, because these people cannot think straightly. And they're a big danger. Look at the war in Ukraine now. They're a big danger to our national security and to actually to the entire European security. This is also my hope in Donald Trump and in your administration, that you end that terrible war, this worthless dying of young people every day, like as fast as you can, because the Europeans, they cannot. They actually given up on everything, like on a good military, on a good negotiation power. They completely depend on the US in the sense of, the USA need to do the entire job. We don't need to do anything. We just escalate the entire conflict against Russia. It's very dangerous what's going on here, and only you can basically stop it.
Yeah, I mean, I think President Trump is going to solve that conflict, I think, very quickly. As you point out, it's now been in somewhat of a stalemate for a few years, and all that's happened over the past few years is hundreds of thousands of people dying, but for no gains. And the longer this conflict goes on, the more Ukraine weakens relative to Russia. I mean, Ukraine is a much smaller country. It simply cannot afford the losses relative to Russia. Russia has, it's just, this is, the longer this drags on, the worse it is for Ukraine. And then you've got all these poor, men dying and for nothing. Why? I hope this terrible conflict can be resolved quickly, and I think it will be under President Trump.
Yeah, will be great actually, because this is our now really like the people here, like many people are anxious, and they're anxious for a very good reason, I think, because this conflict has a potential to escalate big time towards a nuclear exchange. And here, the European governments, they have no measure, they have no strategy, they have no red line, no storyline of their foreign and security policy towards Russia, towards Ukraine.
Yeah.
They have no strategy to end that, and they don't have the military power, right? So they underspend the budget to NATO,
Right.
Actually for decades,
Yeah.
like for a very long time. Like the average, for instance, of Germany, because the share of GDP is supposed to be 2%. So Germany, on average, I think it was just like slightly above 1%. So Germany didn't contribute. But Germany is also not prudent of the defendants of our own country. So this is the second thing. So we are completely dependent on the US. But I think, and I've listened to this very interesting speech of J.D. Vance. He said he doesn't want to have client states, right? Yeah. So he wants to have independent states who that also form their own independent opinion on things, right?
Yes.
So you, for instance, in your companies, you don't want to be surrounded by yes people and by mediocre people, right? So
Right.
me neither.
Right.
So
No,
I try
absolutely.
to acquire. Yeah. So I try to to have the best people in my team. And these best people, they have the task to criticize me every day. And I don't want to have yes sayers, right?
Yes.
Because you cannot learn.
Yes.
So you have no mistake correction.
Sorry, I just said yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. I'm here. Yes. Yes, people. No, but it's so. But
No,
it's
no,
so
yes,
important.
no, no.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, for say my companies like SpaceX and Tesla, if we are constantly looking for critical feedback, because if we make a mistake, then the rockets blow up and the cars don't work.
Yeah.
So physics is very unforgiving. There's I say like really physics is the law, and everything else is a recommendation, because I've seen people break every kind of law, but I haven't seen them break physics. And so if you don't get the design of the rocket and the operation of the rocket exactly right, and if even one thing is wrong, the rocket explodes. So, that's why I'm a strong believer in seeking critical feedback. And in fact, I think critical feedback should be viewed as a gift.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
So
no. But just to continue on that topic. So if you don't have that feedback loop, so your rocket may explode, right? But here in this critical phase of this terrible war
Ja, jetzt habe ich mal hier 13 Minuten zugehört. Ich habe mir auch davor das andere dementsprechend angehört. Und man merkt ganz klar den Unterschied zwischen einem Muttersprachler Englisch und gelernt Englisch. Also eine der wenigen Personen, denen man es nicht angehört hat, dass er Englisch gelernt hat, war, schaut euch die Videos an, Helmut Schmidt spricht Englisch, ja, bei YouTube. Einer der besten Englisch, also der konnte am besten Englisch sprechen als Deutscher. Unglaublich heute. Man sieht es bei Alice Weidel, sie hat immer noch, obwohl sie sehr gut Englisch spricht, aber man merkt halt, sie musste oft nachdenken und war sicherlich auch aufgeregt, und dann fielen ihr einzelne Wörter nicht ein, wie Verstaatlichung, und die Passage mit Hitler hat sie ganz bewusst gemacht, um einfach Elon Musk aufzuzeigen, dass die AfD dementsprechend damit nichts zu tun hat, sondern dass das Ganze eben Geschichtsverklitterung ist. Und was war noch? Ach so, und dann eine Phase hatte ich, bevor ich auf Aufzeichnen drückte, da hat sie Friedrich Merz dementsprechend Maß genommen und hat Elon gesagt, hier, der hat das und das gesagt und der hat eben über Donald Trump gelästert und so weiter. Und er hat gesagt, er soll nicht gewählt werden. Ich denke, das Gespräch, also das hat er auch registriert, ich denke, das Gespräch war das erste Gespräch. Ich fand es gut oder ich finde es gut, es läuft ja immer noch. Die Bild, ich hatte das zwischenzeitlich hier mal eingeblendet, die hat denn hier neue Meldungen laden, die reden denn das ja, dann spricht Musk weiter, die AfD-Chefin beruhigt sich. Ja, ne, also die schreiben das natürlich klein, bleibt ja der Springerpresse auch gar nichts anderes übrig. Hier laufen noch die anderen Übertragungen mit Live, also mit deutscher Übersetzung, aber ich höre mir dann lieber das Englische an. Wird sicherlich viel drüber gesprochen werden. Ich gehe davon aus, das wird erst der Anfang sein zwischen den beiden und Musk und der AfD. Ich glaube nicht, dass das hiermit jetzt beendet ist. Wie ist deine Meinung zu dem Ganzen? Hast du dir das angeschaut? Schreib's in die Kommentare.